Good evening. It is 6:30 p.m. on Monday, February 26th, 2024. I would like to call to order the Sheboygan Area Schools regular meeting for the Board of Education. Mrs. Ballard?
Amber Hanson.
Yes, or here. Sorry.
Mary Ann Ridings.
Here.
Julie Lohila.
Here.
Matt Milnarchuk. Dennis Olson.
Here.
Carmela Boyd. Tim Tarja. Eric Hall.
Here.
Everyone would please stand and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dennis was commenting that Matt is not here so he can see the flag.
We have on the agenda the approval of several meeting minutes. I would like a motion to approve the minutes of the January 22nd, 2024 regular meeting, the January 22nd, 2024 closed session, the January 31st, 2024 special meeting, the January 31st, 2024 closed session, the February 8th, 2024 special meeting, the February 17th, 2024 special meeting, and the February 22nd, 2024 special meeting.
Make a motion as presented.
Support.
Moved by Julie, supported by Dennis. Any discussion? Mrs. Ballard?
Dennis Olson.
Yes.
Julie Lohila.
Yes.
Mary Ann Ridings.
Yes.
Amber Hanson.
Yes. Next, we have the January Students of the Month. Mr. Murray.
Good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be able to do Student Month this month. We have a great group of students. Let's start with Elise Markham. Come on up. Elise Markham was nominated by Ms. Spears. Her letter says, "Dear Elise, I am not surprised that you won the Student Month nomination. Every time you walk into class, you have a smile on your face and you have the determination to learn and work hard. Every assignment and contribution towards the class shows that you strive for greatness and that you understand material and topics on a deeper level that shows amazing talent and intelligence. You are always a delight to have in class, and I always look forward to seeing you as you work hard while also having fun. I can't wait to see what you accomplish this year and look forward to continuing to have you in my class. Keep up all your hard work and keep being amazing. Cheers." Ms. Spears. Congratulations. Next is our sophomore student month. That is Jolynn Woolard. Jolynn was nominated by Ms. McLean. Her letter reads, "It's my pleasure to introduce Jolynn Woolard as the 10th grade Student of the Month winner for January. JoJo is in my economics class this semester, and it's been a lot of fun getting to know her. From the first day in class, she makes herself available for help. It doesn't matter who it is, if you need help with something, JoJo is your girl. Her boisterous personality lights up my room in the afternoon. I'm excited to be a part of her educational journey. Thank you, JoJo, for being you, Mrs. McLean." All right. Our junior student of the month is Warren Farber. All right, Warren's not here, so give him his award tomorrow, but he was nominated by Mr. Sturvis. This service letter is I'm ready to congratulate Warren Farber as nomination for selection for February. I chose to nominate Warren this month because this month and every month Warren has been exactly the type of student that we hope to reward and encourage with Student Month honors. Warren is a model student in class. He is participatory and responsive. His work is high quality. It's clear that he takes genuine pride in what he accomplishes at school. He is never trying to merely complete an assignment. He aspires to do his best work wherever possible. This enthusiasm and interest encourages me to do my best as an educator. Beyond the classwork, Warren is a quiet and kind person. He reaches out to other students and invites them in. He leads by example and fosters a mutual respect with his classmates regardless of whether or not they have anything obviously in common. He treats me and other student teachers with respect, but also has a warmth and humor. I look forward to my interactions with Warren. Best, Mr. Sturgis. All right. All right, and finally, our senior student of the month is Cole Cunningham. I got Cole a little bit on the personal level, he's educated me a little bit on the market and everything going on there, so it's been pretty cool with our economics programs after school, our clubs there. He got nominated by Mr. Wright. Cole Cunningham is a highly motivated, resourceful, and driven senior who I am proud to nominate for 12th grade student of the month. I first met Cole this year when he approached me about starting a new club on campus, the Sheboygan High School Finance Club. Cole researched the national organization Youth Investor Society. Together we started a local chapter at Sheboygan High School. Colton organized the meetings, found the curriculum, and designed and posted high-quality posters for the club. Throughout this process, Colton communicated professionally and courteously with staff and administration of the school to found the club. Colton was elected president of the club and has been leading the group all year. Colton played soccer for Sheboygan all 4 years of high school. As a senior, Colton was a captain of the varsity soccer team and a leader on and off the field. Colton is also highly involved in ski club and participates every week. Colton has a very bright future and has decided to enlist in the Air Force to serve our country after he graduates from Sheboygan High School this year. He is currently in the delayed entry program and will ship off for basic training this summer. Colton is an excellent representative of our school and community. I am proud to nominate Colton Cunningham for Senior of the Month. Mr. Wright. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Next, we have the Inverness Academy Student Spotlight for February also. So our student spotlight this month is Kara Sanders. She wants to come up. Kara is a senior at Inverness. The staff at Inverness has watched Kara grow and change over the last few years, and we are so proud of the growth that she has made. Kara has been working non-stop this year to be able to graduate in May. You will always find Kara working on coursework on her break time, as well as working our school store. She also gives up her free time at lunch and at home to work on academics. Kara has stepped into a leadership role and will encourage peers to get to work in class, which we love. Not only has Kara been diligent about her schoolwork, she's also a very kind and caring young lady. She gets along well with her peers and always wants to be helpful, whether it is a student or staff member. The Inverness staff is rooting for Kara, and we know she will be successful. Congratulations to all of our January and February students of the month. The board would like to recognize also that our students could not be as successful as they are without a really strong support team. So if you are here this evening in support of a student of the month, if you could stand so that we could congratulate you on all of your hard work as well. I see you in front If you would like to leave the meeting, now is a great time to do so. Carly from the Tribune is in the hallway, and she would like to take all of our students' pictures before you leave tonight also.
Come on.
Right, next on the agenda, we do have a retirement this evening. Nancy Spray is here. She is going to be retiring at the end of the school year this year. It says here 30 years with the district. And then right now, she's our high school principal. Nancy has cultivated a lot of really strong relationships with our community. She has an invested interest in the safety of our schools. We've seen a lot of positive changes come from all of your hard work, especially this past year in that specific area. So I appreciate that. I know the board appreciates that. I don't know if anyone has anything that they would like to add before we entertain a motion. Do you have something to add? Would you like to say?
I'm not going anywhere, I'll still be in Sheboygan.
Okay.
During the warm months, I can't promise I'll be here this time
That's a
next
good
year.
strong
But no, I plan to just always be involved with Sheboygan and Sheboygan schools.
Well, we appreciate that. Thank you. So I am looking for a motion to accept with regrets the resignation for the purpose of retirement of Nancy Spray, high school principal, 30 years.
I move we accept with regrets the resignation for the retirement of Nancy Spray, high school principal, 30 years.
Support.
Moved by Dennis and supported by Mary Ann. Mrs. Ballard?
Julie LaHela,
Yes.
Mary Ann Ridings,
Yes.
Dennis Olson,
Yes.
Amber Hanson.
Yes. Congratulations on your retirement. Julie has a curriculum committee update.
We had a curriculum committee meet on February 20th, that was last Tuesday. First, we had new teacher coordinator update by Jake Murray. He gave a report on the new teacher program. He talked about the meetings he has had with the new teachers come to the district and how he's supporting them. Then we had the Institute for Excellence zoomed into our meeting. And I kind of labeled these handouts this time. That goes with handout 1. Take a look at that. She talked about a guaranteed and viable curriculum. The district plans on working this with them beginning on March 20th of this year and March 1st, the half days, PDs. Stipends will be paid to the teachers who are interested in continuing the work into the summer, which will be paid through a grant. For next school year, they're going to start on ELA. This year, they're starting with math. And there's more information on that handout. And then we had a very nice presentation by Jordan Barrett on the BenQ, which is an amazing thing that we have put in all the classrooms, correct? It's in all the classrooms, and she showed some first grade lessons that can be done on there. She also showed some things that can be downloaded from online that she can also use as a learning tool. It was a wonderful presentation. That thing is amazing. Next, we had JV presented perception data. The data is necessary for grant funding. The district has to conduct a comprehensive needs assessment. Part of this process is collecting perception data. We've reviewed this and talked about its use moving forward, and that is labeled handout 2. So you can see the yellow areas that are highlighted. Those are areas that are should spark a conversation to find out why they are that way. It is perception data, so it is not, that's different than reliable. It's kind of like how people feel so in the different areas, and you can see how, like in the one I know target, the question was, I know the learning targets for all of my classes. It's quite different from the teacher perception to the parent, to the student. So those are things that are just going to have start some conversation on why it is that way. Okay, next we had a presentation of district data, and the first one, handout 3, NWEA data. This shows the data from the fall how the kids came in and how they are doing right now. You can see we did quite well. There's absolutely no red on the mean on the end. It's all green and yellow, which is what we're shooting for, is green and yellow in math. The language arts wasn't, we can still see good increases. We're trying to be green or yellow everywhere. Where it is white, that is where they didn't quite make it, but you can see in most pieces it was close. Next, it was the Arcadians, and the fall data and the winter data is what we're looking at, and we can see the increases, how we want to see the well below benchmark move up to at least the green level. We can see how that has changed. Just for reference, the test does change dramatically in the middle of the year where kids are doing, the test is different, so it's not exactly the same. And the end of the year takes everything, the middle and the end, the test is the same. So that will show more reliable data. Next, it was the math fluency test, that's handout number 5. And that has, we want to see where it's oral reading, they test oral reading, we want to see where it says foundational skills get smaller and the oral reading get bigger. So we can see in the beginning of the year what oral reading was, and the end of it we had a great increase. We want to see the foundational skills, because what the test does is it stops testing foundational skills, am I right, Deanna? And then it tests so more is oral reading. So we want to see them move to oral reading. And then the next one is Delta Math. And in the Delta Math, it has these from fall to winter. We can see, again, we see a lot of green and yellow. We don't see any red, actually, in math. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for green and yellow, ultimately green. There's some areas, and this helps them nail down which areas, like subtraction, numbers to 20 in 3rd grade is something that they would focus on, or it helps them decide what they're going to focus on. These are last year's skills, correct? Last year's skills that they are testing so that they are sure that they have all of the skills and there are no holes in the curriculum. And then I lost my front page, there it is. Okay, so then after that, Jamie talked about some new grants that she is working on to help fund language arts and math. Sorry about my printer did not print that very good at the very beginning. Next, we had a discussion about summer school. Summer school this year is, we're going to try to make it, they're having a lot of conversations on exactly how it's going to be run. Planning on it going all summer. You want to add anything about that, about summer school?
Oh, we have some grant money that we need to use up. ESSER 3 money is going to help out, but we're going to hopefully expand some opportunities this summer. Right now, Jamie and I have been working on the budget to see how much money we do have to spend, but it looks like we're going to be able to do a few things. We're still trying to work out the details, but we have the budget put together, and soon we're going to be sharing and posting and recruiting teachers to do some summer school opportunities. But we're going to keep, as we've always done historically through COVID and post-COVID, credit recovery is big. We're going to keep credit recovery, but we would like to try to talk about and add some more face-to-face opportunities for kids. Middle school in particular, for example, Ben and I have been talking about running some camps that would be for that age group and try to make it fun and interesting. We're also looking at potentially doing some credit recovery face-to-face. Typically when students do credit recovery, it's solely online, which isn't the best experience, but usually the most affordable experience. But because we have some grant money, we're looking at maybe running some face-to-face credit recovery as well. If we can get the students to come and we can get the teachers to work summer school too, that's always the challenge sometimes.
So after that, we had a discussion about the elementary building, about the needs at the building. And that East will also need to add that second grade teacher, so the positions came next. And their interviewings have been conducted for a second grade teacher, correct? And,
For elementary position.
yeah. And then they are also hiring someone for a retirement. And there was no public comment there. And the next meeting will be on March 12th. Any questions about anything?
Thanks, Ron. Marianne, are you doing the finance update?
You can, if you would like.
Feel bad. You're gonna wonder
Spencer
that was
and I
there,
can
so.
thumb wrestle for
Okay.
it, but
You have my notes, right?
I
Did you
do,
get my notes? Okay,
yes,
good.
thank you, I
Yep.
appreciate it. So this was the first meeting where finance and building and ground committee were combined into one committee. So first trying to highlight some of the financial aspects that were reviewed. Spencer signed documents for the school district to enter into negotiations with the realtor. And those sellers that are selling the 2 parcels of land next to the high school building. Once a price is agreed upon, both parcels will be brought to the board for their review. Next, financially, investments are doing well. We have over $12 million currently invested, and we're earning approximately $40,000 to $50,000 in interest each month off of that. We had 2 questions in regards to payment of bills. One was in regards to the payment and process of paying referees at athletic events. The finance would like to refer that to the athletic committee. And then the other was for reimbursements with the account description of GYO, which was explained as a grow your own. So those reimbursements are to staff members. It's through grant money that have gone on to earn their masters, and they were eligible for reimbursement through those grant pieces. Also under finances is the potential of adding freshman level sports in 2024-2025. There is a memorandum of understanding between the union and the school district is now complete. This would allow head varsity coaches to keep more students involved, participating at the younger level, rather than having to cut freshmen who might not be eligible athletically just in their play skills for a JV squad, or they would get little to no playing time on a JV squad. This would be handled program by program and facilitated by the athletic director. Our first high school athletic program to be approved that has enough numbers to justify a freshman level and to hire a coach to do so is the volleyball program. Jason Friday will be ordering uniforms and working on securing the schedule for next year. Then the building and ground pieces, on Thursday night, February 22nd at the special board meeting, the board will decide whether or not to continue in the partnership with SiteLogic, which we had that meeting now. Bleachers are booked for this summer. The renovation of the science labs will also go to bid soon. The physical education athletic locker rooms are almost done and could be possibly completed this summer as well, if it can go to bid sooner than later. And when that says almost done, you're referring more to the drawings for that?
Yeah, we're still waiting for the finalized drawings from Cornerstone.
There is a local landscaping company that walked the high school courtyard next to the cafeteria. They're going to be creating some drawings for improvement to share those with the finance committee soon. Mr. McClintock will be using CTE money to build a CTE storage barn next to the bus garage, fully funded by the CTE grant that he's receiving. The district is looking at adding some district money to the project to be able to extend that barn, which would allow for the storage area of athletic equipment, specifically the track and field. Their pole vaulting and such is quite large. The useful life of the track is 3 to 4 years. It can no longer be repaired, it must be replaced. To replace the track, there's an estimated cost of over $500,000. Steve Fleming is going to get some estimates, and the district will need to figure out how to pay for the replacement of the track in the summer of 2026 or 2027, potentially with new bond money. The high school main gym sound system has been replaced and sounds great. We are looking to repurpose the old equipment and install it in the middle school gym. They're negotiating a price for installment now. They're going to just work through some logistics due to the height and with the size of the sound system so that it does not interfere with any basketball and volleyball practices in that gymnasium. And scooting down here, the company that completed the parking lot project this past summer, I believe this is at Eastside, has submitted to the school district a bill for additional work and costs. That's being reviewed by Steve, and they're in negotiation to come to an agreement with them in regards to that additional bill that they submitted.
Is this for that extra 3 to 5 feet that they put on the side that wasn't in the,
Wasn't in the plan.
wasn't in the, okay.
And they're trying to bill us for it now.
And then the state of Michigan has hired a company, the C2AE architectural firm, to visit school districts in the state of Michigan to perform a school facility assessment.
Awesome.
The perk though for that, allowing this company to come in, is that potentially dependent on the overall needs across the state of Michigan of school districts, they might be providing grant money in different area. So you're only eligible for that grant money, I believe, if you allow them to come in and, partake in the initial estimate and initial study of your facilities.
Correct, it's not gonna be as intrusive as the last one we went through. I think they're only gonna spend a couple of days here and do some tours, so it's not gonna be as deep a dive as Site Logic did. But it might also be nice to compare and contrast their data with the data that we've received already from Site Logic.
Very much. So it'll be a good comparison. That is everything for finance and building grounds.
Are there any questions for Mary Ann? I need a motion to acknowledge payment of the current and regular bond invoices in the amount of $1,285,928.08.
Make that motion.
Support. Moved by Mary Ann, supported by Julie. Any questions or discussion? Mrs. Bell?
Mary Ann Riding,
Yes.
Julie Lohila,
Yes.
Dennis Olson,
Yes.
Amber Hanson.
Yes. In January, Tim had the opportunity to attend some of the Michigan Association of School Boards trainings, and at cost to himself, there is a request for reimbursement for those training fees. There's a list in there. Are there any questions on that before I ask for a motion?
I think that the district then gets reimbursed by the Department of Education, I believe, for that particular class that you took.
I believe. After we pay him. So I'm looking for a motion to approve reimbursement to Tim Tarjeff for MASB training in the amount of $99 per board policy 2305.
I make that motion.
Support.
Moved by Dennis, supported by Mary Ann. Any questions? Mrs. Ballard?
Mary Ann Riding,
Yes.
Dennis Olson,
Yes.
Julie Lohila,
Yes.
Amber Hanson.
Yes. Next on the agenda, without a motion, is a brief discussion of the Site Logic PSA. I don't know if you have any new information that you can share with us?
Yeah, I have a little bit. As you know, I wasn't able to attend Thursday night. I'm not quite sure. I heard some of the things that were a result of Thursday night, but I know one of the things that we were waiting on was communication and direction from our attorney, which I was able to zoom in and meet with him this afternoon. And Matt was also able to join in on that Zoom meeting as well. It wasn't very long, but it was good, I thought. The individual, the attorney that we're using through our firm has worked with SiteLogic before, so he has experience with working through some of the issues that other school districts have had with their particular contract, which it sounds like are very similar to some of the concerns that we have in our currently proposed contract. So he's actually, he had already, by the time I talked to him this afternoon around 2:30, he had already been contacted by SiteLogic's attorney, and they were talking a little bit. So he's aware of all of our concerns, and Matt and I gave him the authority, the approval to try to work on some of those issues, and then let us know hopefully where we settle. And then once we come to an agreement that hopefully that our attorney can support, then they're going to pass it on to us to review. He knows that time is of the essence, so they're gonna work on that this week. I was really hopeful that we could get some type of response by the end of the week, the earlier the better. But it sounds like that's a possibility. So as soon as we get some new information to share, something that is newly agreeable between us and SiteLogic, I'll share it with you guys. And then, I don't think you guys scheduled another special board meeting yet, right? We're gonna wait.
We're gonna wait till.
Okay. Yeah, so as soon as I get it, I'll forward it, and then as soon as I forward it, we can talk about scheduling a special board meeting to discuss it further.
Okay. It's not a formal discussion that I'd like to have with so many board members missing this evening, but we also do have the option of, I mean, there's still a chance that they're not gonna be able to come to a good agreement between the two parties.
Definitely,
So
there's always a possibility.
I think that we should maybe look at scheduling a special meeting for next week regardless, to discuss if we wanna try to move forward without them, to see where we're at and
Okay.
discuss if we wanna try.
Do you have any dates that we'd like to take a look at now, or do we wanna?
Tim's gonna be out of town. When is?
Is Carmella coming back? I think it's gonna be gone.
She comes back this
She
week.
comes back Thursday.
Do you have any dates?
Ten leaves
Yeah,
from
I'll just
Carmella
do-
next Thursday.
You'll be out of town all next week, so we will be missing 2 board members next week also.
Okay.
But I don't know that we should continue to put this off.
Yeah, well, it's hard to put it off, I mean, just for everybody's sake, but also we know that we're kind of under a time crunch due to the fact if we do want to move forward,
We need to get started.
we need to get started because we have the PQ meetings with the state in March. So if we push it off much longer, inadvertently, we're going to be kind of deciding in that fashion that we're pushing it off even further. And if that is indeed the case, if we miss the March PQ date, which would allow us to go to vote in August, then you're gonna be looking at, we're probably not gonna wanna go to vote in November, right? We could, but then the only other date would be May. So that would, again, just like the last time that we kind of postponed it, it bought us a little bit of time. But again, we find ourselves under time crunch right now. If indeed that is the goal, to try to go to vote in August. If not, if we don't make a decision to partner with SiteLogic, inadvertently, we're gonna miss that date anyways and have to postpone everything, so.
That was fun. Wednesday, next Wednesday?
What's that?
Could we try maybe could we just tentatively consider next Monday evening and then
Yes,
reach out to everybody?
yeah, we can put that down as a, if you wanna pencil that in as a tentative date, next Monday,
And just check availability,
which is
if you're
what,
available.
the 4th. I don't see anything on my calendar for the evening of the 4th. So we'll put that in there and then we'll send it out to all board members and see how many people need to come.
Would it be wise to have a conversation with our bond attorney to just say we're looking at this scope of a project? I think at our last special meeting, we really narrowed down what we wanted, what we were looking for. Would it be wise to have a conversation with our bond attorney to see what steps and how much notice he would need to take SiteLogic's place at that PQ meeting if we decided to not?
I can find out, yeah, I don't know, that's a great question. Yeah, I can contact a couple of folks and try to get some you know, how difficult would it be for us to move forward without SiteLogic and still meet the PQ deadline in mid-March? I think it's March 14th. So let me check on that tomorrow. I'll let you know.
We could also potentially maybe see if Steve's available for that meeting on Monday and get like a penciled list of our scope of work done. It doesn't necessarily have to be finalized in pen, but.
Yeah, we met today as a cabinet. All the administrators met this afternoon, and Steve was there. And I think he's, you know, if anything, I think he feels pretty confident.
He does.
About what, after reviewing it 100 times,
Yep.
what it is exactly he feels that we need to get done. So yeah, that would be great.
Does he feel like he could do that without the help of SiteLogic?
So, yeah, so I mean, we're gonna need the help of an architectural firm, a construction management firm regardless. The argument right now, what we're comparing and what we're debating is essentially the costs. What SiteLogic, one of the biggest issues that is a sticking point, is SiteLogic is presenting themselves as both an architect firm, architect/engineer, and then also construction management. The way that we're currently doing it now, we could continue to do it that way. So what I mean by that, Steve and I, right now, we've worked with several different architects, but the one that we are working with most recently is Cornerstone. So when we talked about, and we're using Series 3 bond money right now for work this summer. But it's a lot of, I don't want to say it's a lot, but Steve and I are essentially in charge of working with Cornerstone. And then what happens, once they complete the drawings, then we work with Cornerstone and we have to go through the bidding process. When we go through the bidding process, we're hiring a construction management company, right? So you're usually paying the architect on the front end for the drawings anywhere from 7, 8, 9%. And then once the architect is done with the drawings and goes to bid, we're hiring a construction company, right? They're gonna charge 7 to 8%. So if let's say both charged 8%, that's 16%. SiteLogic is still charging more than 16% right now. SiteLogic is right now, part of their agreement, it's 18.75. So it is a little bit more than if we were to do it by ourselves. But as we've heard in their presentations, they do more than what just an architect would do and just what a construction management company would do. When they bring in their marketing team and they bring in some of these other folks, and they show you all those different bells and whistles that you get for that additional 2 or 3% more, that's where they're saying that costs go. Now, talking with the attorney that's a specialist and has worked in these agreements before, he still believes that even though, yes, you're going to pay 7, 8, 9% to an architect and you're going to pay 7, 8, 9% to a construction management company, and yes, it might be 16, he still feels 18.75 is too much, based on what they're showing us in the contract that what they're going to do. So one of the things that he's going to debate on our behalf is you need to come down on that fee, because otherwise we will do it. Because when you're talking hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, and you're talking 3 or 4%, that's a lot of money. So we'll see if they come down at all. That's one thing. And then the other big thing that we've been stuck on, and you guys have been talking about in great length, is the scope of the work. The other thing that they haven't, I don't believe, I think SiteLogic could do a better job of, is, okay, let's say we have $15 million of work. We do not need your help with all $15 million worth of work. Maybe it's 9 or 10. So that percentage should only be applied to the work that we need their help. Right now, in the original agreement, it was 18.75% on all. Well, we don't need your help. For example, we want to buy a couple buses. We don't need an architect to figure out how to buy a bus, right? So, but what they did do is they need to narrow the scope. This is what we're charging you. I'd like to see that percent come down if they realistically think that we're going to agree to it. And then also what I want to see is exactly where they're going to be applying that percentage to what work and why. And then we have something to consider. Right now, if they can't do that for us in the next week, then I think we're looking to move on.
Based on conversations that I've had, he feels confident in his ability to do the job.
Okay.
I think is what your question was.
Yes.
Yes.
Are there any other questions about SiteLogic? We don't have any the whole meeting, so. Then we can move into the athletic committee. We had their first meeting last week, and we mostly talked about all of the athletic needs for all of the teams, both big and small. Those recurring yearly things that they need, and then some of their more big wish list items that they have. And then we did discuss a couple of things that we added to the agenda here. There's a motion on here to discuss the district adopting wrestling and cheerleading effective for the 24-25 school year. Right now, both of those programs are ran by the district but funded by Sheboygan Junior Chiefs. And Sheboygan Junior Chiefs now has the opportunity to do some other things that they would need their funds freed up for to bring some more opportunities to our kids. So, the athletic committee does recommend that we consider adopting those. It shouldn't be at great cost to the district. How much do those
The wrestling,
teams cost?
right now Sheboygan Junior Chiefs funds wrestling for approximately $4,000 each year. They also just purchased brand new singlets, so if the district were to fully bring them in, they would be coming with new uniforms that will last them a good 3 to 5 years. I would say the largest expense right now for them is transportation. Right now they are parent transport or guardian transport. Junior Chiefs does help with, in that 4,000, some of those fuel costs, but that would be more of the larger expense to the district or less if they chose to go that route. Cheerleading, there's very minimal expense to cheerleading. They also, while we don't have a set amount that we give to them like we do with wrestling, sorry, wearing my Junior Chiefs hat for a moment, they present requests as needed. Really, you're looking at spirit items like paper for their homecoming festivities. They have brand new uniforms as well that were just purchased last year, as well as signs and pom-poms. So they would also be coming to the district if adopted.
Ready to go.
Ready to go, yes.
I just, like to add, I mean, those are two very, I guess, when you're in comparison, comparing it with other athletic programs, wrestling and cheerleading is not very expensive.
Correct.
And we're already paying for the coaches, and I think there's some confusion because of that, who's in charge. So I think by taking over, taking control of the program in its entirety for both wrestling and cheerleading, will clear up some ambiguity. And I think that's just the right thing to do. If as a school district, we want to offer cheerleading and we want to offer wrestling, and we can financially, then we should take charge of those expenses.
Junior Chiefs just has opportunity to merge with another youth sports organization, and that has always been the roots of the Junior Chiefs program until 5 years ago when we financed varsity wrestling. So we'd like to be able to take advantage of this other opportunity and would request the district to take over cheer wrestling.
We also talked about segueing from cheer and their spirit items. We also talked about creating ideas for more school spirit and collaboration. When COVID happened, they got rid of all of the pep assemblies and all of those really fun activities that kind of help get the kids excited about being there and interested in their athletics. So we would like to bring some of those things back. I think having Carol Yack at the high school will help with that. But there are other things.
Can I also add, we're already bringing some of those things back,
Yeah.
you know, and as a matter of fact, Nancy, we got a bowling something going on Thursday, right?
A send off for states, yeah.
What was the details on that real quick? Is that 10 a.m.?
They are leaving the Eagles at 10 a.m. They should be up in the high school complex around 10:15 or so.
And then they're gonna be is there gonna be,
They're gonna come here too.
are there gonna be like a parade type, I mean like.
Yeah,
a
the parade starts at the Eagles, heads down Main
Right.
Street, then.
So if you're not busy on Thursday, we're
At 10
trying to
a.m.?
bring some of that spirit stuff back sooner than later.
There's a recommendation for a new head girls track coach, which I think is a sign that I just lost my volleyball coach, but that's fine. And Jason Friday and Spencer are going to create a small committee to start looking at wording or verbiage for an athletic code of conduct. We don't have one, which I guess we never really considered or thought about or realized, but it will be nice to have. We've had some things come up this year that will make an athletic code of conduct kind of helpful to have. And it can tie into our new mission, vision, and athletic, or mission, vision statement that we have at the district. And I think that's it. We talked about creating a standing athletic committee meeting. The football coach position, the head football coach position, should start first round interviews in the beginning of March. So the hope is to have a recommendation by the April board meeting for that. Did I miss anything? There's stuff down here. No, we got that one. Oh, this one is not here.
There were a couple more items, just real quickly. There were,
Oh, right here, this is a discussion point, so not a motion, but a discussion point for adding
Yes.
an assistant coach for baseball and softball this spring. It was brought to our attention that with only one coach there are a lot of times where the kids are alone and unsupervised, and that was a concern for some of our staff. So, because the way that the athletes are separated between the dugout and the field, it would be beneficial to have two staff.
correct. Yeah, for baseball and softball. And I believe we have our baseball and softball coaches here, right? Did you guys have anything that you'd like to add about why you would be in support of adding an assistant coach?
Well, like my assistant, through the state, you have to take a rules meeting, and all the assistants that are gonna be in the dugout with you have to take that meeting. They spend a lot of hours coaching with us, practice. They start right from the Little League all the way up through, numerous hours they put into the program. And our programs have been very successful so far.
Yes, that's what I understand.
Yep.
Kevin, did you have anything to add?
Yeah, I know from the standpoint of, there are times where I've been by myself, and luckily I've had some good senior leadership out of kids. But it's been occasions where I'm by myself and I am way on the other side of the field. And I had 12, 13, 15 boys unsupervised in a dugout. And, I mean, if I wanna hear anything that's said to them, it could come from a parent, it could come from, someone else. I'm not there.
Have you guys had to count on volunteers? Have you tried to, in the past? If
We
you
have
thought-
volunteers, but
That's what we have,
it is hard,
volunteers,
it is hard keeping them,
Yeah.
because they are oftentimes leaving their jobs
Right.
if they can. Home games usually aren't an issue, they can be there, but it's the away games that do cause a stir.
Thank you.
And then there is gonna be, at no cost to us, there's gonna be a new ticket booth. I can't remember, is CTE building this? Do you remember who's building
Where's
this
Ryan
ticket booth?
at? We got, it's a
For the
combination of,
athletic fields and the track?
Yeah.
Ryan and Jason are building it. The Schreiers gave some money, the Schreiers are getting supplies through the Do It Center, and the cement plant is also donating supplies, or somehow they're working with those two
Yeah.
companies.
So the cement company is donating the cement, the Do It Center is
Thank you.
Supplying the materials at cost to the district. Sheboygan Sports Boosters is picking up the at cost for the materials. And then there are volunteers that are actually physically building it, and I do believe it was CTE that designed the building.
Yep, it was a student, yep.
Yep, the student.
what was that last part?
But the CTE design
Oh,
class designed
Designed it.
structure building. I believe.
correct, and I talked with, Ryan was at the cabinet meeting earlier today, and based on the discussion from this afternoon, they're hoping to have it done before spring sports start this spring. So it'll be up and ready, hopefully, for track season and anything else over on that side of the field, so.
It's just a great collaboration of people coming together to make it happen, and it's
A lot of
much
synergy in
do
this
over
one,
there.
yeah, right.
Okay. of Danielle Brock as the girls varsity track and field coach, who was my daughter's volleyball coach this year, was absolutely amazing. So hopefully she does both, because we really enjoyed having her. But I am looking for a motion to approve hiring Danielle Brock as the girls varsity track and field coach as recommended by Athletic Director Jason Friday.
I make a motion to approve Danielle Brock as the girls varsity track and field coach as recommended by athletic director Jason Friday.
Support.
Moved by Julie and supported by Dennis. Any questions or discussion? Okay. Mrs. Ballard?
Dennis Olson,
Yes.
Julie LaHila,
Yes.
Mary Ann Ridings,
Yes.
Amber Hanson.
Yes. I'm also looking for a motion to adopt the wrestling program as a Sheboygan area high school sport, starting with the 2024-2025 school year as recommended by the athletic committee.
I'll make the motion to adopt the wrestling program in the Sheboygan area high school sport starting with 2024-2025 school year as recommended by the athletic committee.
Support.
Moved by Dennis, supported by Julie. Any questions? Mrs. Bell?
Mary Ann Ridings,
Yes.
Julie LaHila,
Yes.
Dennis Olson,
Yes.
Amber Hanson.
Yes. And a motion to adopt the cheerleading program as a Sheboygan area high school sport, starting with the 2024-2025 school year as recommended by the athletic committee.
I move we adopt the cheerleading program as the Sheboygan area high school sport starting with the 2024-2025 school year as recommended by the athletic committee.
I'll support.
Moved by Dennis, supported by Mary Ann. Any questions? Mrs. Bell?
Julie LaHila,
Yes.
Mary Ann Ridings,
Yes.
Dennis Olson,
Yes.
Amber Hanson.
Yes. Next on the agenda is that discussion about the varsity assistant coaches for softball and baseball. I don't know, is there something that we need to do to add that contract, Spencer? We need to wait, don't we?
Well, what you need to do is if you want to approve for me to enter into negotiations with the teachers union, I can do that. Scott and I can meet. Typically, when when the district is offering more, it's usually received well. So, but it's still, because it is a contract, the union still needs to approve. So if you guys want me to, I can meet with Scott tomorrow and talk about creating an MOU to amend the current teacher's contract and to allow for the addition of an assistant baseball and an assistant varsity softball coach.
Do you need a motion for that?
Yeah. I don't think so, but
I don't think that he would need to enter into
no, just as long as you guys are okay with the understanding of what we're doing.
Can we do that so we can add it to the
Mondays.
March meeting?
Yeah. Well, yeah, yes, right. Yeah, we could have that ready to go. And as soon as Scott signs it and I sign it, I mean, assuming that everybody's gonna be in agreement, then they can start preparing for, I mean, I'm assuming you guys would like to have an assistant coach this year, or would you prefer to wait till next year?
Oh, yes, this year,
Okay.
What does your season start?
March 11th.
March 11th.
So the March meeting doesn't work for you?
Well,
We
have
could
a
try
special,
the special meeting next week.
we have a special board meeting on Monday, and I'm sure some of you guys know Scott, so if you could talk to him for me, we'll get together tomorrow, and it shouldn't take much. It's a very informal and easy process, so. Once I sign it, once Scott signs it, I think we can post and then get all the approvals that we need through the board after that.
That's good. Then we have Mrs. Dufton with a building spotlight for East Elementary. We should put those at the top, huh?
Yeah. All right, I am Deanna Duffin, I'm the principal at East Elementary. And our building spotlight, right now, we've been very busy preparing for March's Reading Month. So every year, March's Reading Month is a huge happening at East Elementary. We will kick that off this Friday with an assembly. We try to make a big deal out of was celebrating all the hard work that teachers and students have put into reading thus far. We like to encourage and give a lot of motivation throughout the month of March, and just also bring that enjoyment to reading as well to our students. So March is the time that we really do a lot of this. So this month, this March, we have a circus theme. We have our calendar filled with daily activities that highlight reading. Every Friday, we will be taking donations for the Sheboygan County Humane Society. We call it Help a Pet Friday, where students can donate old towels, blankets, paper towels, dog treats, really anything to help a pet out. And we collect those throughout the month. We have a lot of participants, so even our kitchen staff take part in March's Reading Month with Read a Recipe Day. There's a couple of days where the kids go in and they read a recipe and create it at the same time, and then they get to enjoy eating it. We will have a circus assembly the middle of the month. Classroom sign up. I go into classrooms and read, do an activity. We have a donation that was given to us in memory of Mary Lou Jewell, and that donation we will be giving students books in her memory. So each one of our students will receive a book in the month of March. Also donated were 6 bicycles, donated by the Masonic Lodge in Indian River. We have 2 bikes per grade level to give away at the end of the month as rewards. We have tickets, so every time a student reads, they earn a reading ticket. So the more they read, the more tickets they get, and they get put into drawings. So that's where the bikes will come in. Each grade level builds a basket that has a book theme to it. So it might be a camping theme, and then there's some items in there that go along with camping. These baskets are also put into the drawing at the end of the year, where all students have the opportunity to win those. We do daily ticket drawings, where we just make up some grab bags with anything that we can find. There's always a book in there, maybe a stuffed animal or a flashlight or anything at all. So grab bags are big. They don't really know what's inside the bag. They love that. And then we have weekly drawings as well, where we have our top readers. We have our book vending machine that the students love to put their coins into and get their free books out of there. So all of those things, we have a celebration at the end of the month, and being we have a circus theme, we'll have a carnival at the end of the month to celebrate March's Reading Month, and also to celebrate the end of the 3rd marking period and all of our successes so far. After March, and then we kind of shift gears and start thinking about next year. So the month of April, we are focused on getting kindergarten registration going. So looking at our kindergarten population for next year, getting them registered, getting them information. We have a kindergarten kickoff at the end of April, beginning of May, where they'll get to come in the evening, they'll get to visit. We'll give parents information and allow the kids time to meet the teachers and have some activities going. Usually there's ice cream involved. Also in April, we have our grandparents' breakfast that we bring into the building, so giving our grandparents the opportunity to come in and share the learning environment with their grandchildren, and students love that. And then once May hits, after kindergarten kickoff, I'm sure we'll be deep into planning for summer school, and then we also do plan to have our kindergarten camp right before the start of next school year. So we'll be busy, but loving every minute of it. Any questions?
March is, the reading month is my favorite month, so.
I think it's everyone's
It's my
favorite month.
favorite,
It's
yeah.
super exciting.
The kids get so motivated. It's amazing.
I saw a book-a-thon came home just a couple weeks ago for my kindergartner already, so, I know, we're excited, thank you. There is a letter from the deputy superintendent that was addressed to Inverness Academy. Did you want me to read that? Are you here to read that?
Go for it.
Okay. Let me see if I can find that. You got it pulled up, thank you. All right, this one was addressed to Principal Jewell. Thank you so much for sharing some highlights about Inverness Academy with me during my December visit to Sheboygan area schools. The visit reminded me of the important work of supporting all students in the many and various ways they may need support. I was especially pleased to hear about your partnership with the local judge and the work you are doing in your school to ensure students stay in school. It was fun to see students working together to make sure your school looked festive for the holidays. Always a fun time for students at that time of year. I enjoyed watching the students create the reindeer stalls at the school office entry. Very artistic and great teamwork. Please keep up the good and important work and let me know if I can answer any questions you have or support your work from my role at the Michigan Department of Education. And that is from Dr. Michelle Harmala. I missed the reindeer stalls. I didn't even see that.
Right here.
Sounds awesome. Well, I don't know what she was here for. What was she here for?
Just, she was visiting, she visited high school.
Okay.
Yeah, she just did a tour.
Just a
Visited
tour?
that, yeah.
Well, congratulations. I think it's great when some of our unique programs get highlighted like that. So it's really exciting. And just like that, we're at the public comment portion of the evening. If anyone would like to address the board, please step up to the podium and state your name and address for the minutes. No? Okay. I'm surprised. Okay. I'm looking for a motion to adjourn the meeting then. Moved by Dennis, supported by Julie, all in favor?
Aye.